Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli back out in the shop with a unique video for you today. And in today's shop, we're not talking about lures or baits or techniques. In today's shop, we're gonna talk about the correct way to dress for cold fishing conditions. This is a topic I think that's really under talked about. And at the end of the day, it's the one thing that will kill your day of fishing, right? If you get cold, if you're out fishing during a cold day and you're not prepared with your layers, you're not prepared with your gear, dude, you're out of it. You're gonna start thinking about warming up. You're gonna start shaking. Once your mind is out of the game, your fishing is done. So in today's shop, I wanna talk to you about the system that I use, the system I developed for layering up for fishing cold water conditions, okay? And it really is a system, guys. It's a complete system. And there's a couple like key things that I do that will keep you warm. You know, when I look back on my history, 30 years of fishing, dude, I've had some cold days. I remember a day in the teens. I remember days in the negative temperatures. One of the Bassmaster Classic we launched and it was a negative 19 degrees. Fishing winter leagues, fishing in January, February, even March. Ultra cold conditions on the water. And this is really, over the years, what I've learned to do. All right? I'm gonna sort of talk about it from the inside out, right? This whole system that I have developed is based off of layering and it's based off of seals. You're gonna hear this word over and over in this video is creating seals to not let the cold get in, okay? That's so key. So we're gonna start from the in, we're gonna go to the out, and I'm gonna throw in a couple little secret tricks for you too along the way. All right, let's start with the first layer, okay? And you've heard me maybe talk about it before as base layers. But base layers are the key to a really warm system, right? So, you know, every company now, including AFCO, makes these base layer materials, right? And they're warm, they wick, they keep you dry, they're comfortable. So I always start with a good base layer, bottom and top, okay? Now, you heard me say seals. I'm always thinking about creating seals, right? So I'm going to put the bottoms on first, okay? I'm going to put my pants on, and then I'm going to put my base layer AFCO top on. When I put that top on, I'm tucking it into this bottom layer, right? I'm tucking that shirt into this, so it's creating a seal, right? So if I bend over or I set the hook or I make a long boat run, I never want skin exposed, okay? So I'm tucking that in. Once I do that, then I'm going to my socks. And my socks are going over my bottom, right? They're going over the bottom of that pant leg, right? So when my socks go over that bottom layer, once again, guys, it's creating a seal. If I'm setting the hook or I'm culling or I go down to grab another rod, my pant leg doesn't lift up and there's skin exposed. None of that ever happens, okay? So creating another seal. Dude, over the years, guys, I've found that wool socks really fit the bill of what I want to keep my feet warm, okay? So I'm going to a wool sock, a tackle warehouse. A lot of good retailers have some of these thicker wool socks, like a hunting style sock. Really goes a long way into keeping your feet warm, okay? Let me also mention that the 3 places of focus when it's super cold are head, hands, and feet, okay? We're always really gonna put a concentration on those 3 areas. So for our feet, wool socks, they're gonna go a long way to keeping them warm. All right, next layer, guys, we're gonna go with our what I call our mid layer, okay? So it's not our base layer, it's in the middle. And, you know, for pants, I wanna go with a heavier weight pant, okay? Great thing, a lot of these manufacturers, including AFCO, have a lot of different densities to their pants. So when I'm putting these pants, when I'm selecting pants, I don't want the same pants that I'm going to wear if I'm fishing the Florida Keys, right? I want a little bit thicker cargo style pant. So I'm going to put that on next. And then before I button my pants up, I'm going to put on my next layer, which is a AFCO heavy duty sweatshirt. Okay, this is the Reaper. It's a great shirt because it's got some built-in technology. It's got a built-in buff. It's super, super warm. But when I put that sweatshirt in, just like I did with the base layer, listen to me, guys. I'm gonna tuck that in to that pant layer. Once it's in there, I'm gonna button my pants, zipper my zipper, and I've got another seal created on that mid layer. Okay, I wanna throw a little bit of a secret tip at you guys, and this is something that can go, it can go on before you put that sweatshirt on. And it's utilizing a chemical warmer, okay? Now listen, if you're watching this, you're saying, Mike, get with the times. There's all these battery-operated, rechargeable layers. The thing I don't like about that, guys, is the battery has to charge. The battery has to stay going for 8 or 10 hours. The battery can have problems. When the battery gets cold, guess what happens to the life of the battery? Okay? So instead, I'm a big believer in these chemical warmers, okay? But this is a little trick, guys, which is use a back warming pad. This thing's not even designed for wintertime fishing. This is a Thermacare. There's a couple other brands. It's basically a charcoal chemical style heating pad that you're supposed to put on your back when you have lower back pain or back problems. But guys, I wrap this around. It comes in different sizes. It comes in, I think, small, medium, large, extra large, and literally it's just a Velcro wrap. Once you open this and it hits the air, it activates. Guys, best of all, these things will last 10 to 12 hours of solid heat. So I'm going to use that Thermacare pad and wrap my core. I put it over my base layer. So I put it right over my top base layer. I never put it on my skin because, guys, it gets burning hot. But I put it over top of the base layer before I put on that sweatshirt. And when I do that, it keeps my core really warm, right? Just like your head, hands, and your feet, your core is a key area. When your core is warm and there's heat radiating from your core, it travels throughout your whole body and really does an excellent job of keeping you warm, okay? So layers, seals. All right, now let's go to the outer layer. And this is probably one of the most important parts of this system, if not the most important. And guys, I cannot urge you enough to spend a little extra money on this layer, on this outer layer. Make it a splurge item. You know, don't skimp on this particular item of clothing, okay? This is the one that I found about 4 or 5 years ago that has changed the way, literally changed the way I fish in cold weather. It is so freaking warm. This is the Hydronaut by AFCO. And it's got a bottom bib. It's got a top jacket. And if you look at this jacket, it's got heavy duty zippers. It's got Velcro seals on every single spot that the air could enter, right? So on the jacket, on the wrists. If you look at the pants on the Hydronaut, guys, we've got that same Velcro where we're gonna make that seal really, really tight, okay? And keep that outside air from getting in. So the outside layer, a really nice pair of bibs and jacket, like the AFCO Hydronaut. Really, really key to this system. All right, let's keep going. Let's start with the next one. Let's talk about boots. And I'm gonna throw you another bone here and tell you that that same technology that we used for our back, those chemical warmers, we're going to use on the bottom of our boot, okay? And this is a lot of different companies, but this is the Hot Hands sole, the foot sole warmer. And when you take this out of the pack, just like the Thermacare back heater, there's a chemical reaction with hitting the air, and it's going to stay hot for 10 to 12 hours in the bottom of your foot. Again, nothing wrong with battery-operated stuff, but you got a lot of stuff, problems to worry about. It's charging, the battery's dying. This thing, as soon as it hits the air, it lasts. It's the whole length of your foot, okay? So it's not a toe warmer. It's the whole entire length of your foot, okay? So really, really key to me is to place these in your shoe before you put them on. They also have like a little sticky on the one side. So when you put them in and place them in your sole, they don't move around, they don't bunch up. It just lays perfectly flat. And then just a nice warm boot, okay? A hunting boot, a ski style boot. This is an AFCO deck style boot. A very warm pair of boots. And I like the 3/4 or full length boot, right? You know, something that comes up halfway or further. 3/4 full size boot gives you even a little more warmth up the ankle, okay? All right, guys, you heard me talk about it. Very, 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 very important is that I never, ever, ever fish in the winter without a woolly cap, right? Some kind of beanie, some kind of wool cap. This is an AFCO wool cap. We never want to let that heat escape from our head. We don't want our ears to get cold. So I wear this all the time when it's cold. And I like having the brim of my hat still to, you know, be able to see, to block out the sun. So guys, literally, the nice thing about this AFCO wool hat is I just slop it over my hat. I still have the bill there for sun, and it goes over my ears and keeps the top of my head super warm, okay? Head, hands, feet, core, these are the areas we really got to focus in on, guys, okay? Then last but not least, guys, is a really, really good pair of gloves. You know, something that is warm, something that is waterproof, but something that is also tight. That's the one thing I found is that with my gloves, to actually fish with gloves on, I can't have like a ski glove, right? Because there's too much material there. So, dude, AFCO just came out with this brand new pair of gloves. They're waterproof, they're warm, and they're ultra tight. So it actually takes a little bit to get it on, but once you have those things on there, you don't lose that ability to tie knots. You don't lose the ability to have connection with your reel handle or the blank of the rod. Best thing all about these AFCO gloves is if you see the little gray part there, I can still use my phone. I can use my depth finder. I can zoom in on forward facing or mapping. I can still do all that, right? So hands, really, really, really key on keeping that lack of heat getting out, right? We want to keep everything in. In fact, you heard me say it, but on the jacket, see it's got that little inside Velcro. There it goes right there. Got an outside Velcro on it. And after I put those gloves on, I'm going to seal those Velcros down around the glove. We're always creating seals the whole way, okay? All right, one last tip for you guys, and it is that when I go, I always bring an extra pair of gloves, you know, 1 or 2 more pairs of gloves. And I'm going to carry a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to use, once more, guys, traditional chemical warmers. These are Hot Hands, and I'm going to open up both of these, and I'm going to put them in the Ziploc bag, and I'm going to have my spare pair of gloves in the bag, and then I'm going to seal it up. If something does happen to your gloves, if one does get wet or something happens, you get a rip or it's caught, you have a spare pair of gloves. They're already heated in a heated environment. The other great thing is you could also put these right in your jacket pocket. Gives you even a little more warmth in your core. 10 to 12 hours. It works no matter what. You don't have to recharge it. Throw it away at the end of the day. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this shop, talking about how to dress for cold water conditions. Little bit of some tricks and techniques that I've developed over the years. Remember, head, hands, and feet, really big focus areas. Don't skimp on outerwear. Use some of them chemical warmers, especially that core one, and that's going to help keep you warm. It's going to help keep you thinking about fishing, not about freezing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this shop. If you like what you're hearing, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. When you do that, we're going to send you a notification. We got some cool stuff dropping. We got new stuff, offers. You'll get all that. If you're already subscribed, tell your friends about Mike Iaconelli Fishing on YouTube. We're here to help you hopefully teach you a few things and catch more fish. I hope you enjoyed this shot. We'll see you out on the water, especially on cold days. Bye. Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli out in the shop. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, you have to check out that one, and I hope you like them.